Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to update one of my favorite projects to do. Obviously I am a little bit biased because it's a project that I created, and that is Project Level Up. So if you're new to this project, I do have a bunch of videos in the series. I have done it myself for a couple of years obviously, but then also I do have a collaboratory playlist down below with everyone else who's done this project from the very first upload to now. So if you want to binge this project, you can check that out down there. But to summarize the rules, if you are new to the project, basically you do take a palette. Currently I'm working on my new Lights Obsession from Huda Beauty, and your goal for each level is to reach for every single shade but also to hit pans. So currently I am on a level 1, which means that I have to use every single shade in here one time and I have to hit one pan. For level 2 I would have to reach for every single shade twice and hit 2 pans, and so on. And then once you hit level 5, you do kind of have a goal to reset the project down to level 1 again, or you can continue past that. I did kind of ask you guys in my introduction if you wanted to see me go past level 5 this year or not. I'm still quite torn, so I'm still debating which option would be best, but let me know what you think down below. But I'm going to jump into the video, but before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. Alright, so like I said, I am working on the Huda Beauty Nude Light Obsessions. It's a beautiful color story. It is quite reminiscent of what is on my eyes right now. Maybe a little bit less like bright than this and a little bit less purple, but it is very kind of like soft romantic tones. And I'm going to roll the footage of what this palette looked like when I first introduced it last month. This palette already had 3 pans in it, so of course I need to hit a 4th pan in the palette, and on top of that I of course have to reach for every single shade once, as I mentioned earlier. So I have been loving this palette quite a lot. I did pick quite a difficult shade to focus in on, but yeah, I'm going to show you what it looks like now. So this is what it looks like today. You can see what the overview is, if I was able to hit my goal or not, and I will talk you through each shade in order and go through my usage for all of them. So yes, that is the palette now. I'm going to have the comparison picture up here as well with the like before and after from last month to this one, so you can see the pictures. But this again is the palette, so that is what it looks like now. But again, let me talk you through each shade in order. So the first shade in the palette, these don't have names, is this beautiful kind of purpley tone. It looks very purple in the palette, but I'm actually, well, it is quite purple. It's what I'm having in my, like as my first crease shade and in my outer corner today for mattes. So I did use it once, and that is today. So I hadn't used it before today, but I did throw it into today's look to complete my usage goal on this one. So yeah, still get one use for now. And then for the second shade is very similar. That is use this purple shimmer. It's absolutely stunning, and again I'm wearing that in my look today. I have a shimmer on top of it, but it is a shimmer all over my lid, and then again I used a different shimmer on top of it on my inner kind of corner, not inner corner but like inner third. But yeah, one use on this shade as well. Then the third shade in the palette is currently my focus shade, and this is what I mean with I picked quite a difficult shade. Not difficult necessarily to reach for it, even though it isn't as easy as I thought it would be. It is this light pink shade right here, and hopefully you can see that I do have quite a big dip in that shade, but of course no pan. So I haven't hit pan on this shade yet. I have quite a bit left to go, I think. It's been absolutely beautiful to reach for. I'm currently wearing this one today on my lower lash line. It's quite a light shade, and that I think is the main, not problem with this one, but kind of, is that it's, I love these pinkier tones, but this one is just a tad bit too light for me to be like a crease shade. It is more like a blending out shade, and that way it's still, it leans too purple to be like a clean up shade. So I do use it as like a last transition, and it does work quite nicely for that. But it means that I haven't been able to reach for this one as much as I wanted. However, I do still have quite a high amount of usage on this one. I've tried to incorporate it into as many looks as I can over the past month, and I'm starting at 17 uses today. So definitely quite a high usage in a month. But unfortunately I haven't pan out yet, which means that I have not hit my pan in this palette as of now. So let's move on to the rest of the palette. We do have them right here. So the next one is another shade that I was considering to pan on, and I almost went for this one, but I wanted to go for like a little bit of a difficult shade, I wanted to go for one of the mattes, because I feel like I always pick the shimmers because they are easier, and I feel like if I picked one of the shimmers in this palette, I would have probably been able to hit pan by now. I do think I definitely would have hit pan on one of these shades within 17 uses if it was one of the shimmers. So you know, it is what it is, but I still wanted to challenge myself and pick one of the mattes. But this shade here I have used once. The center shade is just like a cleaning up shade. That is kind of like what I like using for cleaning up shades. I did already have quite a decent pan on this shade, but I did use it once. I would have used it more, but I'm using a different kind of beige blending out shade in my pan palette, so that's where my focus have gone. But I did complete my usage goal on that middle shade. For the sixth shade in the palette, this is a really stunning eyeshadow. I love this one. It's like a pink base with a gold shimmer running through it. It's a stunning shade, and again, I have reached for it once, nothing more than that. I definitely haven't really been focusing on the shades in these palettes apart from like my minimum usage goal, as you can see throughout, and obviously the pan that I want to hit. And then lastly, with the last row is kind of like the slightly more neutral leaning row of this palette, I guess. And the first one is more of a rose gold type of shimmer. It's absolutely stunning again, and I did use this once. Then next to that we have the more neutral transition shade in the palette. This one is an absolutely stunning shade, and again I only reached for it once. I did complete that usage goal, but no more than that. And you can probably see a trend in this palette, because for the last shade as well, which is the deepest shade in the palette, which really isn't that deep, but it is of course deeper than everything else, I did use that one once as well. So with this palette, my usage is quite easy to tally up. Every single shade apart from this one here, which is my focus, I have reached for once, and then this one here I've reached for 17 times. So that means that I have completed my usage goal on this palette, but I still have that one pan to like hit. And I was debating to roll in my level 2 palette now, but I don't really like doing that. I like to complete my levels fully before I can roll in something else. Of course, that means I'm probably only going to reach for that shade in the palette, like that kind of pink shade that I'm working on. But I might reach for a couple shades here and there, we'll see, but realistically probably not, because I'm panning too many other eyeshadows. And that is also the main reason why I don't want to roll something else in at the moment. That is because even though I only will reach for like one shade in this palette, it will kind of help me to focus on other things. I compare this with other things that I'm panning, and I think rolling in level 2 right now would just overwhelm me, and that is kind of one of the reasons why I'm choosing not to. And also I do want to stick with that kind of rule that I want to complete every single level fully before I roll in the next one. I know some people work on like 2 levels simultaneously quite a lot, which I love watching, but just for me, I'm quite like a like, I don't know, I'm quite a strict person. Not like strict, but I would say I'm quite like stubborn in a way that I want to complete my goals before I move on. So that's why I'm sticking with this one. But if I do hit my goal on this one quicker than like the next month, so of course my video here is going up on the 9th, I think today. I'm filming it on the 9th. It's going up today. Normally I post on the 8th, but I have been feeling a bit under the weather, which is why I haven't been posting for the last couple of days. I think I missed a couple uploads. But I will post this one today, and normally it goes up on the 8th. So the next update will go up on the 8th as well of March. However, if I do hit my goal earlier, so let's say if I use this one 5 more times and I'm able to pan on it, so maybe next week or something, I think that's unrealistic, but maybe more like in 2 weeks time, I will film my like next update then and introduce level 2, and then that way I will have more time to work on level 2 instead for the next update after that. I hope that makes sense, and that's how I'm going to structure it. But for now, this palette is staying in. I was hoping, of course, to complete level 1 in a month, because it is the like easiest level, but since I picked a matte to work on, it ended up being a little bit more difficult for me, but that is okay. I feel like it's still gonna be very nice when I do hit that pan in that shade, and it will also, I think, I don't know, I just wanted to work on that shade, and it's been very nice to incorporate into like my everyday look. I've been playing a lot with my soft glam palette again to do like a last transition shade and help blend out those like darker shades, which has been working quite nicely. So I am enjoying it. It's just taking a bit of time, but I'm going to keep working on it, and we'll see how long it takes before I roll this one out. So since I haven't hit that pan, it means I'm not going to roll something else in today. So I'm going to wrap up the video here. It's going to be quite a short update, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Let me know in the comments how long you think it's going to take me to hit pan on that shade. How many uses do you think it's actually going to take? Like I said, I'm currently on 17. I reckon it will take between 25 to 30 uses. So that would mean like 8 to 13 more uses, maybe around 10. We'll see, but that's my guess. Because I use a bit more fluffier brush, it does go a little bit slower than maybe something that I would use more of a pointed brush in. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys!